And a jolly good afternoon to you from the heart of the West End here in London, back in the United Kingdom at Piccadilly Circus, which is pretty much the centre of London, and a place, if you're a visitor to London, you're almost certainly going to visit at some point in time. And I'm stood right next to this famous statue that I'm sure everyone's seen before. Okay, so I'm going to take a walk today, another city walk, as opposed to my usual countryside walks out and about in green spaces around this country and others. And today this is going to be our second film locations walk, ably helped by an app I've been using now for a little while called Go Jauntly. I will say here and now, again, I'm not sponsored by them or paid for them or paid by them in any way whatsoever. It's just an app. I'm sure there are others available that can provide a similar sort of service, but I do like this one. I've even subscribed to it, so I'm a paying customer of theirs, not the other way around. And there you have it. So from the heart of London and Piccadilly Circus, let's head on a walk that someone's uploaded called Epic Film Locations. Let's see what we can see. I seem to see on the preamble mentions of Harry Potter and James Bond for a start. Harry Potter, I've personally never watched a single one of them. Shock horror. And I've only ever watched a few James Bonds really when they appear at Christmas. So I might recognise some of these things, you never know, but I'm sure some of you watching will definitely do. So let's get on the way and see what we see here in the heart of good old London town. Right, well, still at Piccadilly Circus, and just on the edge of Regent Street. A lot of roads lead off Piccadilly Circus, and Harry Potter fans apparently will recognise this particular part as Harry and Hermione shot some scenes just here, although I can't actually work out precisely where. It's not quite that specific. Hopefully this will become things will become a little bit more specific as we carry on. Okay, onwards to the next place. This walk incidentally is listed as taking about 2 3/4 hours and is 3 kilometres long, so I'm guessing with that there's plenty of places to stop and have a closer inspection of various things. Certainly this starting point is a place to sit down and watch the world go by, that is for sure. And a good place to start any walk around London, as it's so well connected to the London Underground. And did some Hogwarts pupils get nearly run over by a bus just around here somewhere? And if you come here, make sure you're careful, because it's very busy. Don't you be run over by a bus either. There's lots of them. Lots of cars and taxis. Okay, to the next place. Or is this just a tour of places where Harry Potter has once stood? Who knows? I'm finding it quite amusing already. There seems to be a lot of people here taking pictures of random doorways and things, so I'm beginning to wonder if everyone here is also looking for places they've seen in Harry Potter movies. It's a bit strange for me because, as I say, I've not really watched the movies at all, so I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of them here and there, but I know there are some devotees out there. Right, this is location number 6 already, or point of interest number 6, and we're only just 100 yards away from Piccadilly Circus. Apparently a bit of a James Bond movie did some filming here. It doesn't specify which movie or what happened or anything on this at the moment, so again, hopefully you're just enjoying the views of the West End of London. But the picture on the app shows this Tesco Metro in the building that it's underneath. So if there's any James Bond aficionados out there, let us know. What was it? What happened? So heading away from the real madness of Piccadilly Circus down to Pall Mall, which amongst other things appears on the Monopoly board, the London version at least anyway. And the next location is the Reform Club, which has appeared in a couple of James Bond films, Quantum of Solace being one of them. Die Another Day I think was the other one. And of course it is the start and finish point for Around the World in 80 Days, Jules Verne's book, where Phileas Fogg sets off from and has to get back in 80 days. And also of course Michael Palin's famous and well watched documentary doing trying to get around the world in 80 days. And famously they wouldn't let him in the Reform Club at the end for some reason or another. That reasons escape me, but that's probably quite typical of an establishment like that, I'd have thought. But anyway, here we are, and in fact there is the Reform Club. And yes, I recognise it from the Michael Palin version of Around the World in 80 Days anyway, because he stood outside of it rather forlorn after doing all that travelling, and then they wouldn't let him in. Even the BBC didn't seem to be able to pull any strings that day, which goes to very possibly indicate the sort of people that frequent places like that. But that's enough of that. Onwards to the next place. Bet they won't let me in now either. Far too scruffily dressed. Going to carry on down Pall Mall now. There we go, look at that. An electric black cab. Right, so now for anyone that's seen the movie The King's Speech. It says to me here that the movie wasn't actually... it's a bit busy here as well. Wasn't actually filmed at Buckingham Palace, it was filmed here. Recognise that? Interesting building. There's a lot of money around here, a lot of money. So we've just come out of Marlborough Road, and many will recognise this place. I'm stood at St James's Park just over there. And just through the trees on the other side, and that's Buckingham Palace, the real Buckingham Palace. Great entrance, I'm sure you'd agree. I'm going to take a little wander around this park now. It's quite a pretty well appointed park. It's lovely to walk around. It's quite a humid kind of day today. It's warm enough, a bit blustery. Queue for the loo as per usual, and this handy little cafe here, which won't be the cheapest coffee you've ever bought in your life, but on the other hand, it's still not too bad. I just hear the chimes of Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament, and directly in front of me there, albeit on the other side of the River Thames, there's the London Eye. It really is quite close to here. I'm getting out of here. There's too many people trying to do selfies and have their picture taken with Buckingham Palace in the background and so on. I'm getting in their way. Definitely getting in their way. Just ruined another one for somebody, never mind. So to give you an idea, it's saying Buckingham Palace, 7 minutes walk from here. You'd have to walk fairly slow, I think, for it to take that long. And 15 minutes to Victoria Station. I'm going to head out towards Birdcage Walk now, out the other side of the park. Not going to spend too long in here today, although if you're going to take this walk as a general walk around this part of London, then build that into your schedule. A bit of time here, time to sit down, plenty of places to sit down. There's a cafe and an ice cream stall that's open here. Again, it won't be a bargain, but it's here and it's available. And apparently some scenes from the film Children of Men were filmed in St James's Park, somewhere around here. And I've never even seen that film either. This is Birdcage Walk. So, going to be continuing on down Birdcage Walk, heading towards the Houses of Parliament and Whitehall. And the next location is another James Bond location that has appeared in Skyfall. So I'll get to that location and pan around, and you can have a look, see if you recognise any of it. But and there is what's the most famous clock in the world, I guess. After its renovation, it was covered in scaffolding for quite a few years, but it's looking splendid today, that's for sure. Well, this part of London certainly doesn't need any introduction or any explanation really. And I can only imagine there's a million photos a day uploaded to the cloud after they've been taken here. And there's various scenes from James Bond movies. Skyfall seems to get mentioned quite a bit up here. From this general area here, it's Westminster Abbey. Everyone's queuing up to take a photo of that telephone box with the door open. Literally is a queue. No one's actually wanting to use the phone, of course. So, right, well, I've no idea why. Probably Harry Potter again. Did he go in there and disappear or something? I don't know. You'll be wondering why I'm doing a walking tour of epic film locations. It's not because I'm a film buff, that's for sure. I do like a movie, but I'm not... oh, here we go again. Queuing up to take the pictures outside this slightly tattier looking one. Don't see many of those knocking about now. And it's even rarer to find one with a functional phone inside it. No words needed, really. No words needed. Two big dongs. 3. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And there's I believe that building there has appeared in a movie. I'm just going to go and have a little double check as to what it was and why and who and when. And that's the cenotaph. We're on Whitehall. Some poppies out there, poppy wreaths, as there always are. In particular on the Remembrance Sunday, when the Queen, or this year, it will be the King coming to lay a wreath, along with lots of others. So just through the trees there, you'll see the London Eye, which is just on the other side of the River Thames from here. Back down towards the Houses of Parliament. And here is Downing Street, the home of the Prime Minister. Number 10 Downing Street. And of course number 11, where the Chancellor official residencies are. When I was a child, I came to London with my grandfather. I was probably about 10 years of age, and back in those days you could walk. You weren't, that's fenced off, there's armed guards stood there. Back in those days you could walk right up Downing Street. You could stand on the step of number 10 next to the policeman that was always stood there, and they would happily have their photograph taken with you. Today, of course, no, can't get near it for obvious reasons. But yeah, I remember that. I'm sure there's probably a photograph of me knocking about somewhere, stood there on the steps of number 10 Downing Street. I think the Prime Minister then probably would have been Harold Wilson or Edward Heath, to give you a clue as to roughly when that was. Certainly before Margaret Thatcher. A long time ago. And another place where thousands of photographs get taken every day. The Horse Guards here, with their beautiful horses, their fantastic uniforms. And if I can get close enough, I shall take a few photos to add in a moment. I always think this around here, around near the Houses of Parliament, Downing Street, Horse Guards, is what defines London as being different from every other city. Most cities, and particularly capital cities, have got their own something that makes them unique. I always personally think that this part of London, if you stand where I'm stood now, you will see pretty much everything. Every iconic site of London that you can imagine, including the taxis, the buses. Can't actually see a red phone box at the moment, but I'm sure there won't be one far away. Oh, and roadworks. You find plenty of those in London. Heading up back towards Trafalgar Square now. And Great Scotland Yard now. Coming up to Scotland Place, which apparently there'll be an arch around there, which Harry Potter fans should recognise. Again, please tell me what it is that happens there, because this walk, although it mentions Harry Potter again and again, it doesn't really say what happens. Well, that's the arch. I've seen better. It's a bit of a mess around here, actually. I'm not going to hang around here. There's a lot of renovation work and noise. I know you to Google the Ministry of Magic scene, and that building there, presumably the yellowy colour building, is the one they're referring to. And this apparently is where Harry follows Mr. Weasley into a phone box to go to the Ministry of Magic. I've got to say it. The HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs building, is surely the Ministry of Magic. So as they magically empty my wallet every month. Ho, 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 chortle, chortle. It's very noisy and dusty around here. I'm moving on. This is what fascinates me with London. Just literally walk away from that busy side road into to a little quiet square, and you've got buildings like that. Amazing. Number 1, Great Scotland Yard. And there's a pub right next door. What more could you want? That's a good show. If there's anybody left in the world that's not seen it before, Jersey Boys, syndicated all around the world, I think, and I've been to it, and it is a very, very good show. Story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Let's come up to one of my other favourite parts of London, really, Trafalgar Square. Needs no introductions, of course. And if you listen to government when good old British people are putting in for pay rises and pay increases due to the cost of living crisis at the moment, they keep telling us that the country's pretty much bankrupt and can't afford all of that. But you come here, you come to London, full of people spending money, full of tourists, loads of foreign currency coming into the country. I think we're just told lies after lies after lies. There you go. Not going to think about those people anymore. Admiralty Arch. Apparently featured as a security checkpoint in Children of Men. Anybody recognise that? A lot of noise in London today, a lot of drilling going on. Not looking particularly great today, with scaffolding over it and hoardings and so on. There's some renovation work going on. That's the National Gallery. Q meets Bond, or Bond meets Q there apparently in Skyfall. I'm sure it looked better than that on the movie. Wow, the noise today. Anybody remember the time when you used to be able to buy food for the pigeons here? Still pigeons, but not as many as there used to be. There used to be absolutely millions of them. That was pretty much because people used to pay money to buy seeds to feed them. Feed pigeons, and they leave one hell of a mess, and that's what it was like here. Yeah, please, nobody tell me that London isn't thriving, and the UK in general. Here's the evidence. Right, well, that's the end of a nice walk. Thank you again, Go Jauntly. And thank you for whoever uploaded the information that seemed to focus mostly on James Bond and Harry Potter, with the random Children of Men film mentioned. So thank you for that. I'm heading off to Charing Cross, going to get on my way for the day. Hope you enjoy this fairly short video. There is another one that I took, that I did around the London Bridge area with, surprisingly enough, James Bond and Harry Potter locations in it as well. So you might want to find that. When this one comes out, that one will have already been published, so you should be able to find that. If you subscribe to the channel and click like, it'll probably pop up and you'll be able to see it. Thanks for watching. If I see anything else of interest between now and Charing Cross, I shall add it on the end.
Oh,
Well, there you go. I love random conversations with complete strangers. Some young lady from Pakistan who's trying to promote her friend's book just asked me to take a few pictures of her stood by the fountains, which I duly obliged, and I've got a copy myself. You'll see her there, and hopefully see the book too. So hello Ariba, if you do watch this, and I hope all goes well with your friend's book. Right, that really is it now. Thanks for watching. I've got to rush back to Charing Cross station now and go and do something else.